Hi everyone, Coach Sullivan here again with MJS Coaching Football. My background's my 38th year coaching football. I've either been a defensive, offensive, or special teams coordinator, as well as a head coach at both the collegiate and high school levels. In this presentation, I want to continue to talk about out of our red zone goal line short yardage playlist, our Bulldog package versus in a short yardage goal line going backwards red zone situation versus what we would call 20 personnel, two back, no tight ends, okay, and a structure change, okay, and then how we adjust to it and how it affects our coverage. First, let me just remind everyone, and this goes to virtually every playlist, when we add even, anytime it is literally even personnel, right? 20, even number. We add even in front of the Liz or Rip. Even, 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 even. In fact, when our players get the personnel call from the sideline, they're screaming even, which is an alert, okay? A big alert for this reason. Because there's no tight end to line up to, now the Rover Mike and backer line up to the Liz or Rip, okay? So it's a Liz, so Rover Mike and backer line up left. That's huge. And then obviously the dime goes away and nose and stud bump away as well. So that's huge. That's why we add even. So in addition to that, okay, Bulldog always has one more box defender than there are gaps to defend. So when there's no tight end, there are six gaps. 1, 2, 3 on each side, right? 1, 2, 3. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So built into the Bulldog package is that. All right. Excuse me. In addition, these are four defensive linemen. Rover's hands on the ground. Remember, I never changed the names of the defenders. These are three inside linebackers. We have two safeties and two corners. So it's like a 4-3 defense personnel wise. Okay. So when you're teaching your kids, you teach them how to line up versus two back sets and personnel first, and then how to adjust when the running backs motion, which for us is what we call brewing. It's not said here, but it's in other playlists. Brewing is a running back motion. It's the only call time we use the call brewing is when a running back motions because it changes the structure, which means the backfield. Okay, it went from a two back to a one back. Brewing alerts everybody we have a structure change. So the way we adjust versus 20 to a Bruin and a structure change, and in this particular case, it's the fullback who's motioning out, all right, to what we would call Detroit, 2 by 2. Okay, and then you'll see how we adjust when he motions to what we call Toledo, 3 by 1. Okay, again, see my base defense playlist, why we name things. D means double, 2 by 2. T means triple, 3 by 1. So the way we adjust, the safety is the adjuster because the safety doesn't have a designated person to cover. So when a running back motions, the safety adjusts over. It's this simple. And now, in this case, the whip and the dime, bracket number 2. So the whip's an outside shade as the mic, as the free safety is, who's in bracket with the mic. So essentially what happens, it doesn't say it, but it was, and this is why you got to teach the progression. Two back structure, double call, because the mic's in a bracket. Diamond backer have the two backs. Root, root, root. Bruin, structure change. Now it checks the Heisman, and they got to make the calls because they're telling each other, but they're also telling you they know how the change affects them. So it went from double because there were two. Now there's one, the structure change. Now it's Heisman. He's yours, dude. On pass, you got the back by yourself. Okay, so that's why it's teaching progressions so important. There's no effect on the corners, right? There's no effect on the defensive lineman, but there's a massive effect on these three. Okay, so consequently, same situation, and I purposely have the tailback. It could be the fullback, and in the previous slide, it could have been the tailback. Okay, either way, it doesn't. We don't have a separate call. Bruins are Bruin, right? Running back motion, changing the structure. Went from 2 to 1. All right, so now there's a difference here. Okay. The mic was in the bracket with the free. So it was a double call with a two back. Okay. Now Bruin has the back going to the two receiver side. That's why the free safety now has to move inside because the bracket now is with the whip and the mic on number three. So the double call stays, right? Double call stays. And again, you teach this in your meetings. Get the kids up, moving, walking around. Okay. If you have them sit like they're in math class or history or whatever, there's never going to be a test where they're putting pen to paper. I know you can give game plan tests and all of that. The reality is a kid may ace it because he's book smart, but when he has to physically do it under pressure, will he? So if you make your kids prove they understand it by getting up and moving and doing it, there's more likely they'll do it when they have to because the test is game day. Okay, so try to keep that in mind, please. That's how we do it, and that's why we do it that way. All right. So the double call stays because there's no by the back Bruining away from the dime. It doesn't change anything for the dime. You see what's going on? And it doesn't change anything for the mic either because now the mic, the only difference is instead of bracketing two, he's bracketing three, still in the bracket. Okay. So if you're asking kids to play multiple positions, that could be an issue. All right. And it's been an issue for us. So I really am selective as to what kids I ask to what we call cross train, which means learn two positions. That's not easy to do, even at the college level. So you got to be careful. Okay. But that's how we handle 20 personnel with the even ad in front because it lines us up in Bulldog. Okay. When the Bruin away from the dime, the double call stays. When they Bruin to the dime, he's now affected because we have a bracket on both sides, free safety in the mic, whip in the dime. So that means leaves the Heisman now with the one back. Okay. So as always, please, you have any questions, please reach out to me at Coach MJ Sullivan at gmail.com, and I'd love to talk football with you.